We've all been there. Moments in life where we face challenges that seem insurmountable, where the weight of the world feels like it's pressing down on our shoulders, facing a job that seems impossible, a task that feels beyond our capabilities, a task that makes you question everything you know, everything you believe in. Well, imagine being Abraham. This guy was promised the world, told he'd be the father of nations, a promise that seemed almost too good to be true. He and his wife Sarah, they waited years, decades even, for their miracle child Isaac. Their joy knew no bounds when he was finally born. Then, out of nowhere, God asked the unthinkable, a request that would shake anyone to their core. Genesis 22, verse 2. Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about. Imagine the turmoil in Abraham's heart. Whoa, talk about a gut punch. Could you do it? Could you even fathom such a request? Could you sacrifice everything, even your own child, because of your faith? The very thought is heart-wrenching. Abraham's faith was pushed to the limit. He was in deep prayer, seeking strength and guidance. He loved Isaac more than words could say. But he trusted God. He obeyed, even when it seemed impossible. He took Isaac to the mountain, built an altar, and prepared for the unthinkable. Every step must have felt like a mountain itself. Just as Abraham raised his hand, an angel stopped him. Divine intervention at the last possible moment. God provided a ram caught in the thicket as a substitute. Isaac was spared, a miracle in itself. Abraham's faith had been tested, and he had passed. His trust in God remained unshaken, and his love for his son was reaffirmed in the most profound way. Now we gotta remember, this was a different time, a different culture. Child sacrifice wasn't unheard of back then. It was a brutal reality. But here's God, drawing a line in the sand. He's saying, not my way, not anymore. He's showing the ultimate sacrifice. Not a child on an altar, but his own son, Jesus, on a cross centuries later. The story of Abraham and Isaac foreshadows that ultimate act of love and sacrifice. So why did God ask Abraham to do it? What was the purpose behind such a profound and heart-wrenching request? Was it a cruel joke, a test of endurance, or a mere display of power? No way. It was about trust, pure and simple. Trust that transcends understanding and logic. God wanted to see if Abraham trusted him, even when it hurt, even when the path seemed dark and uncertain, even when it made no sense, when the world seemed to crumble around him. This wasn't about testing Abraham's obedience just to see if he'd follow orders. It was a test of faith and conviction. It was about something deeper, a profound connection between man and the divine. It was about the heart. Could Abraham surrender everything? Could he lay down his fears and doubts, his hopes, his dreams, his son, the very essence of his being? Could he let go and trust in something bigger than himself? A divine plan that he couldn't fully comprehend? Lessons from the mountaintop: obedience, faith, and trust. The story of Abraham and Isaac teaches us about the hard stuff, the stuff that makes us squirm. Obedience isn't always easy, faith isn't always comfortable, and trust, well, that takes guts. But here's the thing, on the other side of that struggle, on the other side of that mountain, there's something incredible waiting. Peace, strength, a deeper connection with something bigger than ourselves. A timeless tale. Why Abraham's story still matters today. This story, it ain't just some ancient history lesson, it's a living, breathing narrative that continues to shape our lives. It's as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. The lessons we draw from Abraham's journey are timeless. We all face mountains in our lives, challenges that seem insurmountable, times when we're asked to sacrifice something precious. It could be material possessions or even relationships. Times when we gotta dig deep and find that unshakable faith. Maybe it's a job, a career path that seems uncertain, a relationship that needs mending, or a dream that feels just out of reach. Whatever it is, it hurts, it tests us, it pushes us to our limits. But just like Abraham, we gotta remember that there's a bigger picture, a divine plan that we may not fully understand, but must trust in. Hope beyond sacrifice, finding light in difficult times. The story of Abraham and Isaac is ultimately a story of hope. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments, even when we're asked to give up something dear, there's light on the other side. God provides. He sees our struggles, He hears our prayers, and He walks with us every step of the way. And sometimes, just sometimes, that ram in the thicket shows up just when we need it most.